Here, our constitutional position is being expressed by Lord Chaitanya, who is playing the role of a conditioned soul fallen in this world, which he definitely is not. You can see his prayer. What touches me most is that Krishna has come down to such a level of teaching us, holding our hand and teaching us, this is the way you should pray to me. And he's assuming that role. He's impersonating that role. And he said, like this you must pray. nanda-tanuja kiņkaram patitam bhavāmbudhau. You must feel this, because you actually belong to me. Mamaivamsa jivaloke jivabhuta sanatanaha. Krishna already declared in the Bhagavad Gita that all living entities in this world are my part and parcels. Prakriti sthani karshati. They are separated from me and they're struggling in this world with their mind and the six senses, mind and the senses. And Krishna obviously does not like to see that happen to you. He wants you to be happily placed in his shelter, always in association with him, and in a wonderful relationship of love with him. So Krishna is trying very hard. And he is even coming to the point of modeling himself as a conditioned soul and showing us how to pray to him, how to get out of this situation. So what you must think and you must know is the truth, not only what you must think. nanda-tanuja kiņkaram. I am eternally your kiņkara, servant. Nanda-tanuja. I am a servant of Krishna, Shyamasundara Krishna, who is Nanda Maharaj's son. Patitam vam vishame bhavāmbudhau. I have fallen into this ocean of matter, material ocean, sagar, bhavasagara. I don't know how I came about here. So this is an important thing to know. It is a direct question, a direct answer to the question, who am I? Who are you? nanda-tanuja kiņkaram patitam vishame bhavāmbudhau. That's the answer. Who are you? I am a part and parcel of Krishna. I am eternally a resident of Krishna's service, being his servant. But I don't know what I'm doing here. How did I come here? Patita, I have fallen from that position. And I'm struggling here with my mind and my senses, trying to make sense of what is going on. This is a wonderful, amazing statement that you're being told this is what you are, but you're not functioning like that now. Therefore, you're suffering. You see, it's very difficult for a lot of people to understand what this means. People think that they can continue to be in an illusionary mode, not bother about knowing who am I, and I just continue. Everything will be all right. Prabhupada called it the ostrich philosophy of putting your head inside the mud and thinking the wolves will not catch me because I don't see them. If I put myself in a position where I cannot see, then that reality does not exist for me. That is foolishness. The wolves will see you like a fool standing with your head inside this thing. It's like a sitting duck, like they say, a wonderful target for me. Because this target will not move. It is stuck. It will come and catch hold of your neck and eat you up. You cannot be in ignorance willfully and think the reality does not exist. That's the biggest solution. To think that there is nothing real and this is real. The reality that I create through my material situation for myself in my mind is what is real. To have full conviction in the reality created by your mind is a great delusion. It's a great delusion. So therefore, since we are people who cannot do it, are unable to actually manage this understanding, we should at least be sane enough to understand that we need help. That's when the question of a guru comes, which means that the guru should be a person who is definitely well-versed and who definitely knows how he should get himself out, and he's already practicing it, or at least he should be a person who is able to. I have to leave this. Sorry. Oh, can you hear me now? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah. So we must accept counsel. That's the important point to know. How do we actually take that? How to accept good counsel? How to make a judgment on who can actually teach me? Who can actually really genuinely teach me? That's the subject matter that you must have met with a lot in Prabhupada's books. How to get a Sadguru, a bona fide guru, and how to actually get the reality of the situation and understand that I am not in the reality and I would like to go into the reality. The desire to be in the reality, the desire to be out of illusion, is not something that will come simply on its own if you continue to live the same way. That is not something that we can generate easily from within ourselves. We need to have the association of those who have got themselves out of the reality. That makes a very big difference, very huge difference. Unless and until we get the association of such people and we take their instructions very seriously, there is no chance of us getting out of this illusion. This illusion is so strong. And Krishna warns in Bhagavad Gita saying, Mama maya duratyaya, Mamevaye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. It is not possible for you to cross over my material energy. Only if you surrender to me can you cross over. It's not something that we can work out by ourselves and crack the code or something and get the password and then get out of it. It's not some stuff like that. It may be some stuff like that, but it is very deep. The involvement and implication and the entanglement and the illusion is very deep. It's not something that we can escape so easily. It's not gross. It is super subtle. It is not at all anything on the gross level so much. It's super subtle. And the more you learn about it, the more fascinated you become at how we are packed up into this material world. If you simply read the 5th canto, the structure of the universe, you will see how the universe is packed and how there are billions of universes floating in galaxies and everywhere. And how each is so systematically packed, so densely packed and floated into the space. And Krishna is saying, Dharayami aham ojasa. I uphold the planets in space by my personal energy. And you will see that the packing, the material packing, the subtle packing, gross packing, everything is described. And inside that, you're packed with your body, your mind, and everything further. It's actually impossible to get out of that. Even if you get out of your body, you can't get out of the universe. It's so heavy packing. So many millions of yojanas is the dimensions. 4 billion miles is the diameter of this universe. It's calculated in the Bhagavatam and put 4 billion miles. Right? It is so astronomical a figure. And there is a description of this place, and there are different planets, and we are situated in, we're just one speck in a very hugely massive material cosmos. And we think so much about ourselves. No? We really think so much about ourselves. And when you understand how thick is the packing and the engagement and the conditioning, both subtly, grossly, that is psychologically and physically, how you are packed up, and how deeply you're programmed and how you've yielded to that program. If you understand this, you'll find it's next to impossible to be able to get out of this. The only way is to surrender to Krishna, who is the master of the material energy, maya adhyakshena prakriti. And the way to do that also, Krishna is saying, is to search for a person who knows this. You search for a person who knows this and then follow him. You can't get to me directly. I ask you to search for such a person, and if you want so, I will send him to you. Nanda-tanuja kiņkaram patitam bhavāmbudhau. So to even discover that I am conditioned, I am jailed, and I am imprisoned very deeply is great amount of knowledge. That's what Krishna speaks about in the 4th chapter, saying is transcendental knowledge. Knowledge that helps you to transcend this world. It's confidential. And that knowledge Krishna is giving in Bhagavad Gita in the 4th chapter, and in many other places too. And he's saying, Purvai purvattaram kritam kuru karmaiva tasmatvam. O Kuru, O Arjuna, from the Kuru rays, you do exactly what people in the past did and got out of this. Purvai purvattaram kritam. There is no other way. There's no other way. It's like making a big escape. It's an adventurous way out. And Krishna is saying, I will involve with you in that adventure and you can get out. So this understanding of the reality and understanding of the illusion, that is knowledge. That's what is knowledge. How I am situated in this world, who am I? Where I need to be and where I am now. Number 1, Kripaya tava pāda-paņkaja sthita-dhūlī-sadr vicintaya. It doesn't stop with just escaping from this matter and material situation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going further in telling us, if you want to secure yourself permanently, you must be situated at the lotus feet of the Lord in loving devotional service. You may not like these terminologies. You may not like the slavish, fawning, groveling in the floor and bootlicking attitude that is being prescribed here. Right? Sthita-dhūlī-sadr vicintaya. Let me become an atom at your lotus feet. What the heck is this here? How do I understand all these things? It's not at all reality for me. The lotus feet of the Lord is real. It is very nicely sung in Nityananda Prabhu's lotus feet. Koti Chandra Sushitala. Please understand that it is Satya. The Lord's lotus feet is a reality. And it is the shelter of all living entities. One who understands this and seeks the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord is intelligent. It's not a question about making sense in the material realm about things that are outside the material realm and putting it in an understanding that you can gel with. One thing is to make sense out of it, which means that mapping something that is out of this world and spiritual and transcendental, bringing it into your realm of understanding and thought, and then making yourself comfortable with it. These are all very difficult things to do for something that is beyond you. There's something that's beyond you is not always going to be sense, and it's not always going to be comfortable for you to accept it. Because that is the nature of the reality. If it was not like that, why would you be here and the reality is diametrically opposite to you? That's the whole question of the first part. Ai nanda-tanuja kiņkaram. Do you accept this reality? That I am a part and parcel of Krishna, the supreme absolute truth, and I'm now situated in a relativized situation. Do you accept this truth? Many of these things are premise that you should start from. Like I was telling you the other day, it's an affirmation that you should start from. Because you have to know who you are in order to derive a job description for you. What is your title? What is the label? Who are you? Because only then can you develop a job description. Only then can you develop an understanding of what you're supposed to do. Many people think that this is not very important. It's okay, I understand I'm not the body. No, you've not understood it. You've not understood it. Because if you've understood it, you will never be doing what we are doing now. As soon as you understand who you are, you'll go around saying, therefore, where is my... You lay claims to what you should do based on your job description. It's my right to be serving Krishna. It's my right to be doing this. You will ask for it and take it and do it. Right? So, to understand this is not something that is to be taken very simply. It is coming to us by the mercy of a pure devotee, Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. The opportunity is coming to us. But it is not that he is also giving you, along with that package, the realization and everything together. You have to first get the knowledge. You have to deliberate on it and think about it and come to conclusion, yes, this is true. This is what I'm doing here. And then you should start working on it. Kripaya tava pāda-paņkaja sthita-dhūlī-sadr vicintaya is my goal. You see, that is like it's mentioned in all Vedic literatures. There is initially knowledge of our sambandha, abhidheya, and prayojana. First, you get knowledge, sambandha gyan. Bhagavad Gita speaks to you sambandha gyan fully. It tells you who are you, where are you situated, what are the rules and regulations in this place to be successfully oriented to get out. This is sambandha gyan, varnashrama, your role, everything, all this is sambandha gyan, your relationship with Krishna. Once you are settled with that, you actually sink into abhidheya, practice of it, which I told you is a job description, and then you start executing. Start executing the job. I know my title, I am team leader, I am production manager, I am marketing manager. I've come to know, and this is my label. Now I want to get to do what I'm supposed to do. So most people who are given a title will immediately start functioning on the title. And as soon as we come to know ai nanda-tanuja kiņkaram, next thing I want to do is to abhidheya and achieve the result, prayojana. So all that is coming in the shloka. Ai nanda-tanuja kiņkaram patitam vishame bhavāmbudhau is sambandha gyan. Kripaya tava pāda-paņkaja sthita-dhūlī-sadr vicintaya is prayojana. Sthita-dhūlī-sadr vicintaya, I want to be situated at the atom in your lotus feet. In between is abhidheya. Therefore, let me get to that from point A to point B. How will I get that? The sadhana that you have to perform. That is abhidheya. And that's why we remain connected in Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana, all to the goal. If you don't understand these things properly, your chanting also will become mechanical. Why am I chanting? I am chanting to achieve the goal, Prayojana. Why should I know these things? If you don't know these things, you will struggle. Prakriti sthani karshati. Why do you struggle? That's the first question. The first question is, what the hell is happening? Why am I not able to gel with things? Something is keeping on going on. This world is designed for you to ask questions. It agitates you. You're provoked. You're attacked. There is all sorts of klesha, hardships that you have to face. And you will have to ask questions. You have to be a number one fool, coarse fool, like Prabhupada says. So not ask questions about the things that are happening to you in this world. Right? So we are forced to ask questions and we are forced to perform. Actually, it's not an option. It's not an option. Human being means must do this, otherwise you can never be happy. It's very difficult to be happy. Therefore, these statements made, Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana, are meant for us to understand. The whole Vedic literature deals with this aspect. Who are you? Where are you? You know, how you're related, and therefore what should you do? And what is the goal? So this shloka actually is a nail, hits the nail and seals it. There is nothing further to know. Nanda-tanuja, kiņkaram, patitam, bhavāmbudhau. Bhavāmbudhau means this ocean, bhavasagara. Payā, tava, pāda-paņkaja. Without the Lord's mercy, kripa, you cannot be situated at his lotus feet. And the Lord's mercy comes when he actually becomes satisfied, when he becomes pleased with your devotional service. Then automatically many things happen to you without much endeavor. So this is a science. I know that some people may not accept it as a science because science has established its own methodology. But Prabhupada called it a devotional science. And he explained that if you do this, first you understand it, and then you execute it like this. There are landmarks, and you will see those things happening to you, and you will arrive at the end. There is a scientific way of doing it, step by step. And he established that science very nicely, put it into practice. And then the Bhagavatam is full of stories of such people who have achieved this by following this process. That is why when we read the case histories of people who have done it and achieved it, we also become confident of achieving it by putting in our effort. We are not just doing something to keep ourselves busy. We are not simply doing something because somebody said so. All these things may be true to some extent only, but we are doing something because it is me. It's an existential activity. I must ask this question, who am I? And I must be in touch with the reality of my existence. Cogito ergo sum, the famous René Descartes said, that I think, therefore I am. He was trying to rationally, introspectively understand how I should do things, who am I, how I should know things using my... He paid a lot of importance to his individual existence and his individual capacity to analyze and understand. Actually, I like that very much. The way René Descartes, all these are very great thinkers. You know, you must understand that they didn't have any religious background like in India we have or something. They, of course, had the big Christian background, which is what is really religion in this world, termed as religion in this world. But they didn't have that cultural upbringing like some of us may be exposed to in the wonderful land of India. So a lot of the thinking that they had was questioning very deeply. And the deep questioning, see, I am thinking, and I can understand that I am thinking, and I can see the fruits and results of that thinking, and I have to palpably experience my individuality, existence, my consciousness. Therefore, I am an individual. So these are all wonderful truths. And because I am such a person, I must take advantage of it. I must take advantage of it. And I must probe deeper into it because it's such an interesting subject. Every soul has got the great capacity to get interested in it. So in the Bhagavatam, you'll see stories of people discovering themselves. You'll see stories of people like Dhruva Maharaj. They are put into a material situation which excites them. And because of that, they try something out and it leads them to spiritual life. I see. People who are inquisitive, people who think, people who want to act, people who want to achieve something in life, they are all the people who will get out of it, finally. But those who don't actually evince interest on their own, it is not possible to constantly be surviving in spiritual life on borrowed interest, on borrowing enthusiasm. One has to also start generating his enthusiasm. That is done best by cultivating Krishna consciousness deeply. So then only we can be situated in this nanda-tanuja kiņkaram patitam bhavāmbudhau payā tava pāda-pańkaja sthita-dhūlī-sadr vicintaya. It's so nice that this person, Narottam Das Thakur, is immediately taking to it. I'm sorry, not Narottam Das Thakur. What is it? It's nice to know. Narottam Das Thakur has written about this. I'm sorry, not Narottam Das Thakur. Who's that? Tapan Mishra. Tapan Mishra. I think today is Narottam Das Thakur's appearance day. That's why it's coming into my head. Tapan Mishra is a person who was faced with this difficulty, something like Rene Descartes was this thing. He was analyzing so much and he was asking this question, actually, who am I? Actually, who am I? He's asked this question to many people. Nobody was able to give a satisfactory answer. And then in his dream, he was in Bangladesh, in his dream, he was told that you should meet with, somebody told him that you should meet with Nimai Pandit. He will tell you. So he was searching for Nimai Pandit. In his dream, Nimai Pandit came and told him, I am here, you come and meet me. He was so stunned. And he went and met Nimai Pandit, the long curly hair, and he's visiting Bangladesh, he's visiting his, mother's place, grandma and something. And he will meet him and very clearly he will tell him, Ayi nanda-tanuja kiņkaram patitam bhavāmbudhau. In essence, he will tell him, you are a servant of Krishna. And you have fallen from that position into this world and you should go back. And as soon as he mentions it, Tapan Mishra immediately sheds tears and he gels with it. Yes. And he pays obeisances to him and said, thank you so much for clarifying with me. Just the words of Lord Chaitanya immediately made him understand this is what it is. So that's what I mean, kripaya tava pāda-paņkaja. That kripa, unless the mercy is there, how much ever you may read the Bhagavad Gita, you won't click in the understanding that this is what is the reality. So mercy of the pure devotee. Prabhupada has openly given his mercy. Anybody who reads my books will get to know this. Anybody who chants Hare Krishna and reads my books will get to know this. Anybody who takes prasadam, anybody, he has given such a wide net that many people somewhere get stuck in the net and then climb up inside it and get to know the truth. Right? So this is an important aspect that we are all able to realize only on the basis of kripa. Krishna's mercy, the pure devotees' mercy, the Vaishnava's mercy, somehow or the other, we can stick to Krishna consciousness. We should not think less of all these things. These are all the things that really make up our life in Krishna consciousness. Materially, whatever happens, we should never take it very seriously. We should definitely take association of devotees very seriously. Om Tat Sat, Hare Krishna. Time for questions. In 2 minutes' time, if there is no question, I can shut off.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Yeah.
Maharaj, last week there was one question. Why it's nanda-tanuja? So you were answering that form of Krishna, who is Nanda Maharaj's son. So here is the question: why it is mentioned lotus feet?
Because I told you, lotus feet is a reality, and lotus feet is a shelter. All these things you will read repeatedly in the Bhagavatam. You will read it in the prayers of many, many devotees. And there is glorification of the lotus feet of Krishna by the gopis. Right? So we are, Krishna is not just an ordinary person, which you can ask, why lotus feet? Feet is the worst part of a person. It's all full of dirt and lousy, and it's this and that, we may think. Isn't it? But a Vaishnava's lotus feet, the Guru's lotus feet, pure devotee's lotus feet, Krishna's lotus feet, all these things are boats on which you can cross over the ocean of material life. So, why do you say lotus feet? Because the Shastra says so, because it is mentioned by great acharyas so. In the material world, lotus feet does not have any meaning. Lotus and feet definitely have some meaning separately. But lotus feet, I don't know whether there is any terminology like that. Yeah, I don't know what pointedly your question is. I've answered generally. What's your question pointedly? If you want, you can state it, restate it.
Maharaj, we read Sikshastakam, and I understand that there is a significance for a particular word. I wanted to know why it has been mentioned as lotus feet, but you have answered, Maharaj. You have answered specifically.
Okay. Thank you. Any other question?
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Yeah.
Maharaj, I was just a few days back, I was watching a video by Carl Sagan, the famous scientist, very old video, and he was standing next to an array of huge books, like huge shelves of books, some thousands of books, something like that. And he was saying that, he was giving some statistics that if you read these many 2 books a month or 3 books a month, you can read around some 1,000 books in 10 years or 20 years, like something like that. And at the end of that, he said that it doesn't matter how much you read. What matters is what you read. So I was thinking if this could correlate with what went through with Tapan Mishra, because he was such a big scholar. He had an array of books at his home, which was very rare in those days. And still he was confused. But then when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said that I'm reading so much. I'm a scholar. I know so many things, but I'm not, really sure of who I am and what I should do. And then that's when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that you don't have to read so much. You just have to read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. That's it. and we can know what you want. So just a comment I was able to relate.
Yeah, that's spot on. That my point there was, by the mercy of the Guru, by the mercy of Krishna coming through the Guru, a genuine person, I mean, that the understanding really clicks. But if we depend too much on our own faculty, I'm taking it more subtle way, if we depend too much on our own faculty or be very independently, individualistically dependent on our own faculties to be able to understand the truth, then again you get into a different labyrinth of this thing. So at all levels there are requirements that you surrender, and Krishna is saying, I will actually help to use your faculties to arrive at the correct conclusion and understanding. This does not mean that we just become zombies, don't act in any way, and simply say everything Krishna will do. That is also not the conclusion. The conclusion is there's a wonderful active hybrid of your faculties, your thinking, and your individuality. The mercy of Krishna and his help and his revelations, they all work together to bring about the understanding. It's not that one person is hands down and says, I'm surrendered, you may do whatever you want with me. That's not like, it's not to be understood with that shallowness. There is a depth to surrendering to Krishna. There is a depth to Krishna showing mercy to you. And it should be understood in the proper context. So what happened to Tapan Mishra when he tried to crack the understanding only on the basis of Shastra is one thing. As a Brahmana, he wanted to do that. But he was a very high level of a devotee. So this is happening to him at a very high level, whatever. And so that should not be, very easily mapped on ourselves. Different folks, different strokes. Krishna is giving everybody a lesson and a push up the stairs according to the time, place, situation, and circumstance. But for Tapan Mishra, what lesson we can learn is that Krishna showed his mercy and it cracked open for him the understanding. So we are always dependent on the mercy of devotees. I have this notion and understanding from my experience that the realization clicks. Although you have knowledge, the realization clicks at a particular time, and it takes you into a deeper realm of that understanding and knowledge. And it can go deeper and deeper as you render service to Krishna and as you surrender more and more. That's my understanding of it. So anyway, thank you for your comment. Next question is Girish. Am I saying, Giriraj Govinda, your hands are up? I'm seeing on my phone. So,
yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Maharaj, you said asking questions.
Yeah.
I remembered about some time back I heard about the Upanishad, Prashnopanishad. There is a Upanishad with the name
yes, Prashnopanishad.
So the interesting thing is, I think 4 students or 5, they go to the teacher with 4 or 5 questions, and they're highlighted, means what are the questions, and the teacher tells come back after 1 year.
Yeah.
And after 1 year the students again go, and the Upanishad develops like that. So it was interesting why the teacher told 1 year, and students came back, and maybe interested people can means it's a nice occasion to remember this Prashnopanishad. I think the Upanishad itself starts with Kena, from who this whole thing has come. It's all about Brahman. Nice thinking. I remember.
Yeah, thank you for that. So I will probe that further and use it further for getting some more, what do you call, realization on this topic. Why is it that the Guru told the disciples, come 1 year later? What could be the reason? Does it mean that I will read up the books and I'll be able to tell you better? Does it mean that the Guru is putting them to the test, whether you're really interested in what you're asking? What does it really mean? I just want to say that different times people said differently. I heard once Guru Maharaj telling in a lecture that he did some small error in showing some independence with Prabhupada. Then he said that Prabhupada completely neglected me. He just, brushed him aside totally for the whole day. And then he understood that I have done something wrong in doing this. And he understood that there's a mistake. I shouldn't have done like this. This is a vague remembrance of me from one of his lectures. And then he went and asked pardon and did some service or something. And Prabhupada again started paying attention. And all this happened without talking at all. No talking from Prabhupada. But Prabhupada, by his actions, showed you're wrong. And now that you've understood you're wrong, I'm going to instruct you again. All this happened only through action with no words. It's something very similar to what you're saying. And I see sometimes that's the way, if you're really interested in somebody and you want him to learn, you would be wanting to give him powerful lessons which reach his heart and help in transformation. We just don't talk. We go beyond doing into influencing and changing the person. That's the program. The Guru's program is to affect you deeply with change. It is not just to give you knowledge like in education institutions, just to write something on the board and show a few slides and get you some theory and information. And you can take that and write the exam and then call yourself a doctorate or an engineer or a lawyer or whatever. It's not superficial. The Guru is very interested in bringing about change in your attitude and in your view. And he affects it in various ways. He may use psychology, he may use physical methods, he may use anything. That's why they have a lot of faith in the Guru in the Vedic times, that he takes responsibility for you. It's not like education institutions here. The Guru takes responsibility for you, means personally he deals with you. That is what I wanted to speak about. Pāya, tava, pāda-pańkaja, sthita-dhūlī-sadr. That shows that somebody has got interest in you, wants to give you the mercy, reveal things to you. That's the thing. Thank you for the comment. Any Krishna, Sikshastakam ki, Samaveta Bhakti ki jai, the Guru.